alaikum, everybody. Good morning. I am Rayan Zain, your fellow student classmate, a preparatory year medical student. And today I'll be presenting quite a strange topic, yet fascinating one. So I will share it with you today. So, first of all, and as for questions, feel free to ask questions at any given moment. If you want to participate, give suggestions, feel free to do so. I'll be more than glad to answer it. And shall we start? I would like to start by Al-Baik. Who loves Al-Baik? Very good. Okay. If you think this presentation will be about Al-Baik, it's not. It's about Al-Baik, something that happened to me in Al-Baik, but it's not about Al-Baik. Well, I've said it. I wanted you to guess what it was about, but it's spoiled. It's about social media. So I'm going to talk about what happened to me on Al-Baik, but first I want to ask you a question. If you're waiting in line for your order in Al-Baik, while you're waiting, what are the things that you're going to do to make time passes? Your phone, yes. Any other opinions? What are you going to do? Yes, good. Anything else?
I can see if the person in front of me is sociable. Maybe I can talk to him. Can you
Yes,
try?
amazing. You see, all of your answers were amazing. And the problem is when your phone, although it's useful, but it can deprive you from social interactions and meaningful ones, like I had in Al-Baik. What happened to it in Al-Baik? I met a person in Al-Baik, and I wasn't grabbing my phone, I was just waiting for my order. And there was this person wanted to talk to someone, and I was near him, so he talked to me, and we introduced myself, he introduced himself. He's from Jordan, he ordered that. It was a fun, small chat. And it was meaningful to me. And our phones, although it's useful, it deprived us from small and simple moments such as these, social moments. And it's amazing. Technology, you can communicate with your loved ones, distant ones, your relatives abroad. But as I said, it deprives you from moments like this. It's like sugar. If you consume sugar extensively and consume it in an unwise way, you will start having problems. It has an opposite effect on you, not to mention you having problems with your regulating its use. And that's called addiction. Let's say if a person eats a donut every day, will he be able to enjoy an apple? Of course not, because he's so used to large amounts of sugar. When he's presented with a piece of apple, natural sugar, small amount of it, he wouldn't enjoy it. And that's what social media does to us. We are speaking to many people at once. We'll be speaking to a person on an app and another on another app. So we are so used to talking at so many people at once that we are not enjoying one-on-one conversation, meaningful ones. And social media affects us in many ways. Firstly, it's distracting. It's a source of distraction. It's hardly at times you find yourself focusing on something. For example, a lecture. Your phone buzzes, vibrates, you receive a message, you receive a call, you become distracted. And it's a very big source of distraction. Also, what it does to us is it shapes us, shapes our personalities, shapes our values, our principles. So if we're not careful about that, it can have a negative effect on us. We can become a person that we don't want to be. What it does is also makes you compare yourself with others. It's called social comparison. You compare yourself with that person. You compare yourself with your friend. You compare yourself with a celebrity. And that's pretty much the biggest problem in social media. What also is addictive. It's addictive. It's, you can't just, nowadays, you can't just stay a minute and not pull out your phone. It's addictive. You can't regularly use it. And it's addictive. How does it shape us? Shape our personalities, shapes our values and principles? Well, firstly, in social media, there are people. There are celebrities, friends you can follow. And the one thing that is contagious is their personalities. That's why the saying, show me your friends, I'll show you who you are, makes sense. Because you slowly and gradually get their attitude, get their personality. So that's why the saying now is, show me who you follow, I'll show you who you are. You'll start getting their attitude, their perception of the world. You start getting their personalities. And if you are not careful, maybe their personalities isn't good. So you have to be careful about that. And it affects us majorly in that way. This is called the cognitive triangle. And what it is the source of our behaviors, our actions, are generated from thoughts. So a thought is source of behavior. Thought generates a feeling, and according to that feeling, you will act accordingly. So, for example, if you have a positive thought, you will feel happy, you will feel funny, you will feel, positive way, and you will act accordingly. Same way, if you had a negative idea, and this works on many things, not only ideas, attitudes and personalities. If your friends are negative, if the ones you follow are negative or positive, it can have an impact on you. It influences your personality. So you have to be more careful with the people you follow, with the people you watch, with the content you consume. You really have to be careful with that because it really has an impact on you. And social media is really addictive, and it's more addictive than alcohol and cigarettes. That's why it's called the new cigarette. I mean, nowadays, and it's a new research, it says that at average, we use the internet 136 minutes a day. That's like 2 hours more. Not mentioning sleep, university. So it's a big part of our time wasted on internet. And as I mentioned, it's more addictive than cigarettes and alcohol because it's accessible and it's acceptable in our society. It's normal to see someone grabbing his phone and avoiding interacting with other ones. Well, it is addictive, yes. If you're addicted to it, is it your problem? Do you feel guilty about it? You shouldn't. It was designed that way. It is partially your fault, but not all of it. It was designed to be addictive. And they have research labs, like Facebook, for example. They have research labs on how to make you spend more time on their app, spend more time looking at posts, looking at people, looking at videos. So it's many different factors. For example, logos. They designed their logo in a way that is attractive to the human eye. Let's say YouTube, for example. You'll say the color red is, attractive. It's, attract you and you want to see what's on YouTube. McDonald's, for example. The color yellow represents happiness. When you eat food, you feel happy. And notifications. They also design notifications in a way that attracts you more to their app. You know, when you see that icon, the red icon, the red represents urgency. You have to see it. You have to see what's the message that you receive, what's the video that your friends sent you. So colors, notification sounds, when you hear that beep on your pocket, you want to pick up your phone and see what have you received. Also, layout. They designed their layout to make it easy for you to access content and to see videos and continue seeing videos. They designed their layout in that way, in that addictive way, consumable way. What they also use is the scrolling motions. I mean, you know it. We love to make our hands busy when we're waiting or we're doing anything. So they exploit that gesture and put it on their apps. You keep scrolling to see content. You keep scrolling to see videos. You tap to like a video. It's addictive. You have to keep your hands busy, and they use that to their advantage. Advertising. They advertise their app in a way that you have to use it. If you don't use their apps, there is something not right in you. For example, Instagram. They advertise their app as capture your moments, capture memorable pictures, be creative. As I can see, TikTok, make your day. Make your day by watching TikTok videos. And Twitter, don't miss what's going on. Don't miss the news. Don't miss the rumors. They advertise their app in this way, so you will feel that you need to use that app. But you don't. You don't need to use their apps. And they use color, attractive colors, warm colors. As we mentioned in notifications, red represents urgency, and it's attracting to the human eye. That's why we feel pleasant looking at a sunset, for example. And for not quite reason, we just look at a sunset because it's pleasant to see and it's attractive. So the using of color and marketing is a whole science in it at itself. So I'm not going to dig deep into it, but you can look it up. It's fun and fascinating, and to see how it influences our personalities and our actions. It's fun. But to get back to our topic, what have I done once I know all this information? At first, I perceived social media as time-consuming. It consumes so much of my time, and it didn't give me any value, any benefit. So what I did is I deleted it. Firstly, I deleted Instagram, and Instagram led to Snapchat and deleting many social media apps later. It was hard at first. I had perception about that I'm going to disconnect from the world. I'm going to be lonely. But I can confidently say, by quitting social media close to a year, I'm more connected to the world than ever. So I took the leap. I deleted the app. I mean, it's a step-by-step process, but I quit it. And I feel more happy than ever, more calm. Why did I quit it? As I said, it's just, you spend so much time on it. You get submerged into the videos, into the rumors, into the news that doesn't give you any benefit, you know? And it's mostly the rumors and news aren't true. And the posts and videos and pictures of happy people photographing themselves, behind the scenes, there is another story. So not everything you see is true. Okay, how to do it? How did I do it? Well, you can be creative about it. You can use your own ways, but remember, when you use it, and when you're trying to get rid of a bad habit, like social media, and any bad habit, video games, smoking, any type of a bad habit, you have to start small. Even if you want to build a good habit, you will have to start small. Exercising 1 minute a day, and the next day, exercising 2 minutes a day. A week of that becomes 7 minutes a day. So gradually, you increase it up. And I did that when I quit social media, gradually reducing my time, and then led to me deleting it. So the first thing you need to do if you want to quit social media, and as I said, it's a step-by-step process, to mute notifications. Because that sound that your phone makes, you just have to pick up your phone. If you're in a lecture, if you hear that beep sound, you want to reach out to your phone. You want to see what messages have you received. So muting your notifications is a first step. And the next step is, after muting your notifications, and it's a long process. I mean, you can mute your notification for a month and to get used to it. Then you can switch off your notifications. Not necessarily to all apps. For certain apps like Instagram and Snapchat that doesn't give you any value or benefit. It doesn't relate to your studies. It doesn't relate to your focus or business or anything. So switch off the notification of the apps that doesn't give value to. Set a goal or purpose before you enter the app or before you browse for pictures and videos. And the problem with social media, and especially TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, it's so random that if you don't have a clear goal of what you want to consume, you will get lost in the videos and the news and the rumors and the memes. So set a goal. You want to use social media to have a laugh for 5 minutes, and then just go off. Not to dig deep into the news and the rumors, and just having this randomness is bad for your brain. It's unhealthy. So what I experienced after quitting is I felt more calm. I felt more connected to the world. I felt more confident, more social. I mean, I'm not the most social guy you can meet, but after these quiet months, months that I quit social media, and I became better as a person for my closed ones, for my family. I became more responsible. And I faced more fears and get rid of bad habits, more bad habits. I started enjoying simple moments like going to the park, like sitting with the family. These were unenjoyable to me at once. Now it's enjoyable because I reduced my time on social media. That normal sociality, one-on-one conversation made meaningful to me, was meaningful to me. And I challenged my fears. I had a fear of heights. So one day I go to Taif and there was a big slide. It doesn't look as big on the slide, but it was a big slope. I was afraid of heights. But I didn't have anything better to do, so I tried it. It was a fear. After I tried it, I wanted to do it again and again until it closed at 10:30 p.m. So facing your fears is really amazing. It can solve many problems and phobias you have. And it led to me quitting other things like soft drinks. I started to consume less Pepsi, less Coca-Cola, less Mountain Dew. And it also led me to consume less sugar. I started to drink sugarless tea. And believe me, when you taste tea without sugar, it's very rich taste. You don't want to consume it with sugar again. And I started to consume less video games, I remember the last time I opened my PlayStation was 2 months ago. And prior to that, I was using it twice a week. So quitting a big bad habit can lead to a series of quitting other bad habits. by starting small. For example, smoking. If you smoke once a day, reduce it to once every 2 days. Reduce it once every 3 days, once a week. Also, make it harder for yourself to get a single cigarette, for example. So you can be creative about how you get rid of your habits and also building new habits. So, in conclusion, after all of I said, the one thing you can get from my presentation is to use your time wisely. You know, most of us use social media just to spend time, spend free time. But I don't want you just to spend time. I want you to invest on the most perishable thing you have, time. Invest in it. Invest in meaning making use of it that will benefit you in the future. You know? So start using your time wisely, not just spend it on things, on videos, on memes. I mean, you can have fun, you should have fun, but does it have to be every day? No. So we are at an age we are building principles and values, and we have to be careful of what we perceive and what we read and what we watch, because it can affect our personalities, it affects what are the person that you're going to be in the future. So you have to be careful in building principles and values, and not just building it out of someone you see on YouTube, for example. You have to build your own values, your own principle, draw your own red lines that you don't cross. And, you know, in the future, we're going to be a role model for our kids. So using your time to read, to, you know, educate yourself, become more wise, become more social, it's important because in the future, you have to be a role model for your kids, a role model that they follow your steps on. So you have to take responsibility of your time, your education. You have to use your time wisely. And after all of that, after I presented you why is social media a problem and a solution for it, what now? Will you do it? It's not the question if you can do it or not. You can do it. I did it. Somebody else did it. You can do it. So the real question is, will you do it?
Will you do this? Anyone who wants to do
Can you raise your hand?
it?
So you don't have to quit social media. You just have to reduce your time. You have to use it with a purpose, in a way that it serves you, not consume. Constantly consuming it can have an opposite effect on you. And yeah, the question is, will you do it? And trust me, I'm a person who took a leap and got out of the virtual world and to the real world. And it's amazing in the real world. And when my friends ask me if you want to go to Instagram, you want to go back, I say no, because I know what's on the other side. I took the jump. Now I'm facing reality. I don't want to come back to that virtual world, which is filled with assumptions, expectations, and it's just a delusional world. That reality is much better. So no, I don't want to come back. And trust me, if you tried it, you don't want to come back to that virtual world. And I would like to end this with a quote. Life is what happens when your cell phone is charging. Life is what happens when your cell phone is charging. And that's all for me. If you have any questions or any suggestions or opinions, feel free to do so. Any other than that, I'm finished. I am Rayan Zain. Thank you.
Okay, I need 3 students to comment on his presentation. Leader, what do you think? How was it?
It was amazing, interesting presentation, full of information, good ideas. He tried to convince us for what he did. with examples.
For example.
Yeah. This is a lot of advantage because of presentation. Maybe just the one disadvantage when you become a little bit longer than we expected. Yeah, the presentation, just that. But all the presentation was so perfect.
Excellent.
And I apologize for it. I took so much time.
No problem, no problem. Actually, it was interesting, and we were so much into it, engrossed, that we did not think about the time.
Yes.
It was full of such information. Yes.
He actually have a deep message, and it's a very like living. We're living this message
Well,
right now,
yeah, it's
and he's like trying to make us better, and this is very good.
excellent, excellent. From this side, what do you think of this presentation?
I think it's a nice idea to convince people to let go of social media because it's really bad. I wouldn't like it.
It's really good. Yes.
He talked about something you could see in our society.
Well, we talked about something, a problem which we are all facing. But excellent, all the things he talked about was the negative aspect of society. Everything is positive and negative aspects as well. As far as positive things are concerned, the same social media we can use for in a positive way. How, for example, I am a teacher and I am following teachers, international teachers. So I'm learning from those. You are students, you can follow. For example, if you want to learn your language, there are many, many pages that can really help you improve your language. So it depends on the users, but the problem is, as he mentioned, once we dive into it, it's such a huge word that it's difficult for us to go out of it. So it consumes a lot of time. Excellent, very good. Okay, who can come next?